Uh, Good morning, everybody. It's good to see people, especially new people, other than me. So I'm yesterday. I spent the day in Bethel. I mean, it just was. I don't usually stay in Bethel. Bethel is a place where we go to get certain things and then leave. But there were some other things going on, and one of the things was that there was a fire. It was this, so this, and this, it was, I came out, we came out of a building, and I said, I smell fire, not smoke, I smell actual fire. And the next thing you know, the Bethel fire department was roaring out, going out somewhere. And then we had other sirens from other places, and the ambulance came roaring out, and all this sort of thing. So I don't know what happened. I have no idea because everyone started talking about the Canadian wildfires, and that the reason that we have this darkness today is because of the smoke from those fires. And I noticed that, and somebody said this the other day. I can't remember who it was, but they said, and I'm sure it was here, because nowhere else do I go where anybody would say something like this, was that that other species, other than us, I guess, spend their entire time making sure they have or getting food. And I thought that was interesting. I thought possibly for all of us, this is true, whether getting food is, working on Wall Street because you come home and you have to eat something. So why am I saying this? Just a feeling that everything exists and is able to live because of certain conditions. And when you have Canadian wildfires, for example, I'm sure that and they're always in places right on the ocean. I mean, I just can't understand it. Too ignorant to really protest the way I do, but I say, how is it possible? But for those people, their way of life is very dangerous right now. And I don't know how they pursue the pursuit of getting what they need. And here we have, I don't smell the smoke at our house. I don't think you smell it here either. But it has sort of put a pall on everything. And yet, the hawk that lives in I would say our woods, close to us, and I'm not sure exactly where, but really close to the house, is very busy and not at all daunted by air quality or anything like that. And I think it is a female, and I don't have a really good reason for thinking that, except that if it's the same one we had before, she had a mate several years ago, and then he sort of disappeared. And she would call and call, and there was no response. And she came back the next year, and she called for him, or called for everything, because she's very vocal, and there was no answer again. And she's back this year, and there's no male or no mate, but she is the most vocal being I've ever spent a lot of time around. She calls at all times, and the calling, I don't know, maybe ornithologists who have studied red-shouldered hawks know why she does it all the time, but she speaks and shouts all the time. And it punctuates our entire day, except in the middle of the day when she's not hunting. And she cries out, and you can hear some of it. There's some hawks around here, you can hear it. it's kind of ringing, loud and ringing and over again. And she's a red-shouldered hawk, which they are very vocal and they talk a lot. And I've seen them up close in California. They're large, but I always assumed that they were smaller here. That somehow, because you don't have 12 months of the year where things are easy, and but to me, there's something joyful about the way she does this. I don't know if she's trying to scare all the little animals to run away, so that she can catch them, or whether they're also hidden, that I just can't, I don't understand it. And I love this, that she's there, that she's at our house every day in the summer. And then I feel sad when she's gone at first, then I realize she's going back wherever she goes in the wintertime. Oh, and it's probably not a female, but I just don't know how else to think about it. Because of that there was someone else and then they're gone. And so it could have been the other way around. It's my story, I guess. She's amazing to see because she is very large. She's got a wing spread that's just huge. But she is a forest hawk. That means they are built for hunting in the woods. Almost all other hawks hunt in the open. And they have great powerful wing spread, and they could get anywhere, zoom, zoom, and they follow something down over. These ones go through the trees, but you never see them go like this or even like this. They just are like this the whole time, and they move through this really dense forest, although not as dense as it used to be, but still. And she can move through them, whereas and you don't even see the leaves fluttering because she's so efficient, so incredible. And of course, when she is flying like that, they don't know she's there. And that's when she gets the squirrels and the other things, other poor things that are her prey. Why am I telling this? I'm telling this because there's something about her call that speaks to me. For whatever reason she's making the calls. For me, it is like she is saying, I'm here. I'm here. As if she were talking to me and all the other people, miles around. I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, you little rascals, and I'm going to eat you. It's just, and this is what I could do. And it's like saying, see me, I am really here. You can't ignore me. There's no way. Unless you're stone deaf, you really cannot ignore her. And it reminds me a little bit of like what we go toward with the practice of meditation and the teachings of the Buddha, that we want to see ourselves, to know ourselves, and to me, to know myself with that joyful call would be like just wonderful. And of course, I have to accept that it would be whatever it is for me. And it makes the woods, with all their problems and the power outages and all the money you spend paying people to cut things down so you won't have power outages all the time. And it makes it's still like a sacred place because of someone like that hawk, who is presence cannot be ignored. His presence lights up the day with sound. Um, by the time I get home later this morning, she probably will have stopped for a few hours, lunch break or whatever, I don't know. And then back at it in the late afternoon and even into what you might call the evening until the light begins to dim. And I feel like she shows me something about myself and about what we're doing here. In the most, it's her self-expression is really something. I've told about how my grandchildren, who were a lot younger then, were going down the driveway, which is a long driveway. So it's a little walk, and they were down there, and then they came upon a hawk who was hunting in those woods on either side of the driveway, and they wanted to follow her, and she was planing. I guess that's the word I want, planing. No flapping, just planing through the thing, and they were on her tail, trying to catch up to see what she was going to do. And what happened, of course, was that she had a squirrel. I guess she went down and came up, and she was flying because when I'm in the car, she's been in front of me sometimes. It's about as high as I am, and so she's right behind her with her tail out. Oh, it's just fantastic. And then I guess she swooped down. I wasn't there, so I'm remembering what they told me. She swooped down and she got a squirrel, and they were amazed, and I don't know if they were shocked or they were amazed, and they followed and tried to keep up with her, and they got close enough that she dropped the squirrel. And they went, "Oh no, we made her drop the squirrel," but she got it again before it got to the stone wall. What an adventure! What a way to live, and always proclaiming your presence, which would be very obnoxious among the human race, and is when we have that. But unless they're a great singer, I guess. I really, I feel such. I guess I feel like I'm inadequate to protect her, but I would protect her with my life, because on all the animals, actually. I mean, I noticed the daddy long legs are back. She's like this sort of beacon in my day. I don't want anything bad to happen to her, as apparently happened to the other one. And perhaps I'm wrong. Perhaps this is another one, and I'm just not acute enough to know the difference in their voices. So, it's amazing. 15 minutes, and so I find myself. I mean, when I want to talk about things, I seem to talk a lot about animals, but I mean, in a way, that's what it is for me. And it's, wars and governments and all that thing. I mean, I'm not unaware of it, and I do have feelings about what goes on, but it's like it's only a periphery in my world. My world is really what I really pay attention to, and is what I pay attention to. And I feel immensely lucky that I live in a place where I can have that kind of world. When I lived in cities, even really wonderful cities, I spent a lot of mental time wishing that I were able to lie in the grass somewhere, with a tree or so over me, maybe. And as I grew up here and on Long Island, when Long Island was still rural or partly rural, um, I wonder, like, would I be like, would that be my world if I had had a different experience as a child? Um, I don't know. I guess I just feel really lucky. I don't know what the Buddha would say about nothing, probably, just nothing. It's just the way it is, and I'm able to appreciate it, I guess. And I'm sure there are plenty of things that I'm not able to appreciate, but I can't think of one right now. So that is my talk. If anybody can say anything about it, I would be very happy, or about something else, if it's okay.
There's a word for nature. There's a word for a story about nature, right? Isn't there books that are...
A story what?
There's a word for natural stories about nature, right? There's a word for it. People write books like this.
I don't know that, and that's funny because all I think I would love to know what that is. A word for stories like this, stories of nature.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story. Really, really beautiful.
Thinking pastoral or something like that.
I don't know.
What is it?
I thought of the word pastoral.
Oh yeah, I think that's more about cows.
There's a famous book I started reading. I can't remember the name, about a man who spent a year in England in the countryside observing birds and writing about them. It came out many, many years ago. I feel like it was in the 1960s. I came across it because it was a book recommended by a famous movie director. And he was a teacher, and he said, anyone who takes my course, I need to know what books they've read. They need to have read this book. I'll see if I can get the name for you if you want. Similar kind of eloquent observational commentary and about the birds he encountered. And one of the interesting things about the book is nobody knows much more about the guy than his name. Mm-hmm. And it became a classic. His biography is almost nothing. Mm-hmm. It's just this book. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful book. It's a little hard to understand because it's in British English, and I think he makes up some words too. It's hard to tell.
Yes. I'll also try and find it, search for it.
And there was a movie recently based on a memoir with Hawke in the title. It was a woman at Oxford or something, a scholar, an academic, and she adopts the hawk and trains it in falconry after her father dies.
Yes.
And she carries it into the classroom. Eventually she has a breakdown and she recovers, but the hawk is a really helpful element in her recovery.
I've seen little video things about someone who was adopted an orphan's hawk, and the sort of love affair with that hawk, who then eventually leaves. You hope. I just think of all the green, and then the color of the trunks of the trees, which is either black or dapple gray, and how you can see her moving through that. and the green light, and it's just amazing. And I always feel that, well, I guess I don't feel it, but I think it's an intellectual thing that my interest should be, I mean, I had this, incredible education, but I end up sitting on this is the best part of my life, is sitting on my balcony, watching the animals, seeing the fox and his family and these other things. I don't even know what they are, but they must be related because they were all standing around. And yeah, I know. And the bobcats, amazing, just that share themselves with me. Thank you, or they don't even know I exist. But I just.
There's that famous nature artist, I forgot his last name, it's Edward something, but his prime piece is called The Peaceable Kingdom.
Yes.
And it's all these animals.
Of course, it isn't peaceable. I mean, they're all killing each other and eating each other out there. So we have that. And I was thinking, you said pastoral, but that to me, that evokes domestic, like cattle and sheep and, I mean, that kind of life, which is wonderful also. Then brings to mind being in my tiny little Volkswagen, going down the southern Colorado mountains and coming upon all these sheep coming up the road, and they were Basque shepherds bringing their flock up for the summer, and there was something wild and cultivated at the same time. And behind all of that, I would reach out the window, and of course they would shy away, but I thought they were so marvelous. They were as tall as the window on the Volkswagen, and behind them, the wives in the trucks with all the provisions for the summer. It's just a world, I thought that, I look at it now and I say, oh, that's in my world. My world has that, and I remember the touch of the animals and what the people looked like, and how how focused they were on what they were doing. What a great thing.
Well, a lot of people through the ages have felt what you do. I remember reading a metaphysical poet called Andrew Marvel, and he has a poem called The Garden, and the most famous line is, annihilating all that's made to a green thought in a green shade.
Yes. That's good company to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyone else? Well, I think we can release ourselves from here now. And thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you again. I hope. Maybe somebody else will get to talk.
Maybe someone can help me with the hot water, which I can never do.
The hot water?
Yeah, I can never make the hot water thing work.
Oh yes, I'll show you.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You're easy. It's easier for you.
Yeah, right.